Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teaching them well. Peace and salutation to the whole elect that's throughout four corners of the earth. This pushing his word of sincerity. Shalom. All right. This is a lesson on Ezekiel, the first chapter, as you can see. Salakia. Now I'm gonna let the scriptures do the talking. This is verse 1, Ezekiel 1:1, and it reads, Now it came to pass in the 13th year, in the 4th month, the 5th day of the month, as I was among the captives by the river of Kabar, that the heavens were open, and I saw visions of God. In the 5th day of the month, which was the 5th year of King Jehoiachin's, I think I said that right. But that's basically the Babylonian captivity that we were under. Moving on, the word of the Lord, the word of Yahweh Shai came expressly unto Ezekiel, the priest, the son of Uzziah, in the land of the Chaldeans, by the river of Kabar, and the hand of the Lord was there upon him. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind, it came out of the north, great cloud of fire, enfolding itself, a brightness was about it. Out of the midst thereof was the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. And that's talking about a chariot, the whirlwind, the cloud. Those things are describing the chariot, what they ignorantly call UFOs, all right? Little green people are not in them. You know what I mean? Moving on, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was the occurrence. So, let me grab, before I move forward with the 5th verse, let me go ahead and grab, let me go to my bookmarks, because I got it lined up. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 104, verse 3, and it reads, Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot? You see? The clouds. Who maketh the clouds his chariot? Who walketh upon the wings of the wind? It's a chariot, man. You see? Revelation 10:1-2. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as it were in the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. Alright, describing a chariot that the angel came down on. Verse 2, and he had in his hand a little book open, which that represents the Bible. Alright, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot upon the earth. Talking about a chariot. Alright, and the chariot had positioned itself with landing pods, if you will. Alright, let's go to Judges. Judges. No, I want to go to Judges. Should I pull out the other one? No, I'm going to go to Judges. This is the book of Judges, chapter 13, verse 6, and it reads, Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. You see? Very terrible. Just remember that, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, this was talking about Samson. This was Samson's parents. But this was an angel sent by the Heavenly Father, all right, to give instructions to Samson's parents concerning Samson, because the Lord will raise up Samson to deliver, us from the Philistines. You see, as this example, the angels and the chariots. All right. So nevertheless, we'll go back in Ezekiel. Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had likeness of man. You see? And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings. Alright? So this is the thing too, bro. The Heavenly Father could do whatever. He could create whatever. Alright? So the angel with 4 faces can terrify the average human being. Make them shit himself, have a heart attack. Then the scriptures say something about how the Heavenly Father is terrible. I'm gonna get that before I move forward. But anyway, the average human being will shit themselves. They seen an angel with 4 faces, and that's showing power too. Let me grab that right quick. I think it was. I forgot how to go. It's a couple. It's it's a lot. I'm telling you, for the main one. There it is. Psalms 47:2. For the Lord Yahweh Shai, Most High, is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. You see? Come on, man. Like it tells you how many. Not 62 precepts on how. Like, come on, man. But yeah, anyway. Moving forward, and their feet were straight feet. See? And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. So before we jump the gun, we got a lot of people that would read that and be like, I think literally. You know what I mean? The Most High can't make it like that, but the first line, their feet were straight feet, right? And the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. All right, so boom. Sole of a calf's foot. The angels, first of all, are dressed. They're not like that Cupid shit, first of all. Half naked and had a bow and arrow and all that nut shit. They were clothed from garment, man. So when it said it's sole of a calf's foot, if you ever seen the movies with ninjas and you see what they wearing, all right, where their toes separated from the rest, that's called a tabi, a tabi. All right, and then their skin was brown, like a so-called black men. All right. And the hands of a man under the wings of their fourth side, and they have four faces. Their wings and their wings just and their wings join one another. They turned not when they went. They went everyone straight forward, as the likeness of their faces. They four had the face of man, and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. All right, so face of a man, that's an actual man, right? A representation of wisdom. Face of a lion represents courage. Face of an ox represents strength, man. Eagle face represents flight, because they can fly. The angels, and then the thing about it, man, they not subjected to the limitations of man. Angels is powerful as themselves, man. Thus where their faces and their wings were stretched upward, the wings of joined one to another, and two covered their bodies, and they went everyone straight forward, whither the spirit was to go. They went, they turned not when they went. As the likeness of living creatures, their appearance was like burning coals of fire, and like the appearance of lamps. It went up and down among the living creatures, and the fire was bright, and out of the fire went forth lightning. So the creatures that it was talking about is the angels, right? So they had the gleam, the glow. All right, so when you read Matthew, the 28th chapter and the 3rd verse, his countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. All right, when the angels descended down, all right, the angel's appearance was like lightning. That's what it's talking about. Like glow. See? They had that aura. All right, just having the image of the Heavenly Father, that's pretty out of this world, man. But nevertheless, we'll move forward, and the living creatures ran and returned as the appearance of a flash of lightning. Yeah. And now, that's heavy. Now, as I beheld the living creatures, behold, one wheel upon the earth by the living creatures with his four faces. The appearance of the wheels, their work was like unto the color of a pearl. They four had one likeness in their appearance, and their work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When they went upon their four sides, and they turned not when they went. As for the rings, they were so high, they were dreadful, and the rings were full of eyes around about them four. The rings represent the windows on the chariots. All right, and when the living creatures went, the wheels went by them, and when the living creatures were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up. So basically, you would picture the angel and the chariots right next to each other. All right. Everywhere the angel go, the chariot go. Whithersoever the spirit was to go, they went. Thither was their spirit to go. And the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creature was in the wheels. See? So the chariot and the angels were joined together spiritually, in unison and basically in one accord. All right, so verse 21, when those went, and these went, and when those stood, these stood. And when those were lifted up from the earth, the wheels were lifted up over against them, for the spirit of the living creatures was in the wheels. Right? And the lightnings of the firmament upon the heads of the living creature was as the color of the terrible crystal stretched forth over their heads above. And under the firmament were their wings straight, the one towards the other. Everyone had two which cover on the side, and everyone had two which cover on that side. And their bodies, and when they went, I heard the noise of the wings like the noise of great waters. God, that's heavy. As the voice of the mighty voice of speech, as the noise of a host. When they stood to let their wings and their voice from the firmament was over their heads. When they stood and had let down their wings, and above the firmament that was over their heads was like the lightness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone, and upon the lightness of the throne was like the lightness of the appearance of a man above upon it. So the lightness of a throne, that's talking about the Most High, man. You know, that was sitting on the throne. And I saw the color of an amber, as the appearance of fire round about within it, from the appearance of his loins even upward, and from the appearance of his loins even downward. I saw as it were the appearance of fire, and had the brightness round about. You know, that's just the aura of the Heavenly Father. And as the appearance of the bow that is in the cloud in the day of rain, so was the appearance of the brightness round about. This was the appearance of the lightness of the glory of the Lord. You see, right there. Of the Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. And when I saw it, I fall upon my face, and I heard a voice of one that spake. So that was the vision of Ezekiel that he got. You know, just describing, you know, the chariots and in the angels. All right. So, you know, I hope y'all was edified. You know, on to the next. Shalom.